I imagine it's always special for you to be able to go back to Seattle. Or at this point, is it not anymore, or just another trip?
Well, I've done it enough now that it's probably not as special to go back, but it's it's fun to go back and play in Seattle. I mean, that's where I was born and raised, so it's always fun to get back there and see family and friends for a minute. But you don't get a whole lot of time when there's a game at hand.
Huskies obviously no Isaiah Thomas this year. Lost their main big guy, MBA. What have you seen the changes in them from last year to this year?
Well, speaking of big guys, Brian Ammoning was really good, but Aziz Njai, he got banged up, I think, in the Duke game with his knee. Other than that, though, he's been very productive. And he's got a great presence in the paint, especially on the defensive end, blocking shots and just contesting shots. The other addition or difference in last year is Tony Roten. I mean, the guy's a pro. There's no doubt about it. And he can hurt you in so many ways. I think the other day against Colorado or Utah, he had like 7 steals in one game. Usually teams don't even have 7 steals in a game. But his basketball instincts, his feel for the game are above and beyond most college guys. And he's a freshman. He can score. He's a phenomenal passer, very good ball handler, gets his hands on a lot of balls on the defensive end. Just an outstanding player and just a freshman.
Ken, did you guys make a run at him at all, or was it pretty obvious early he was going to go UW?
I don't think it was obvious early he was going to go to UW, but it was obvious early he was not coming to Washington State.
You obviously have Reggie and you have Devontae, both from the Seattle area. When you took this job, what is the emphasis placed on the Seattle area as far as recruiting with as much talent as has come out of there in recent years? How important is it to tap into that?
Well, it's important because the locale. I mean, it's in the state of Washington. There's a lot of Washington State alumni in that area that can help us in recruiting, and there's a lot of talent over there. So, yeah, we have Will Diorio from Bainbridge, Mike Ladd from Rainier Beach, Reggie, Charlie Inquist. There's a lot of guys on our team from that area, and we hope to continue to recruit that area the best we can.
Do you think that WSU is an easier sell over there than maybe it was in years past because of that?
It could be. I mean, I think it's no secret with high school and AAU coaches that we're making an effort to be over there as much as we can and try to recruit, because, again, there's a lot of talent over there.
Ken, speaking of in-state guys, do you foresee Patrick Simon becoming a part of the rotation at some point?
I hope so. He's a great kid. He works hard, and he can really stroke it. But right now there's other guys that are just playing ahead of him, and I'm just hoping he hangs in there and waits for his opportunity, because I'm sure it'll come.
You obviously got good minutes out of Dexter on Saturday. Do you foresee him maybe being a bigger part of the rotation going forward?
He could. There's a number of guys in that position that are, battling for playing time. There's times I thought, against Oregon State, Mike Ladd did some really good things. And then the other day we made a change in the lineup and took Reggie out and started Dexter because of his energy and ability to shoot the three. And he did some good things.
Do you anticipate Reggie starting this week, or is it too early to?
I would anticipate he would, but we're taking that day by day.
He always seems to have a little extra juice when he plays in Heck Ed.
Yeah, he has. He has. He's had some good games there, and plays hard.
Do you see this becoming a better rivalry? I mean, over the last several years, it seems like it's been fairly evenly split. I know the series record doesn't reflect that, but certainly in recent years.
I hope so, because I don't foresee them dropping off a whole lot. They have good players now. They've had really good players the last 10 years, and there's some really good players they're going to be joining them in the near future. So I'm hoping that we can continue to compete with them and make it a great game every year.
You had two pretty dominant wins over them in the regular season last year. What was the key to that, to countering everything that they do so well?
I don't really know what the key was, except Clay Thompson was really good.
Yeah.
And Clay could score points a number of ways. And D'Angelo Casto, his presence was felt both times we played them. And those two guys, they'd be seniors now in our program. And it could be a little different situation if they were here. But to answer your question in regards to last year, I thought those two really did a nice job every time we played Washington.
You guys really made your free throws too, especially in the game over the Heckhead.
Yeah, I don't recall that, but that always helps. If you can make your free throws in a close game, that definitely helps. We found that out at Utah. But on the flip side, we found it out against Oregon State up in Spokane a week and a half ago too. We made free throws down the stretch to ice that game, but against Utah we did not do a very good job from the line. I think we were 10 for 22.
How was just the general mood of the team yesterday in practice?
Good. It's not like we're just embracing losses, that's for sure. But I think our guys understand there's a big picture, and we're still striving to be a better team, and we all feel like there's still growth amongst this team where we can get better and better. So I really liked the attitude and the efforts yesterday during practice. I thought it was very good.
In that regard, was it important to kind of make that run against Colorado, to cut it to 8 and kind of, at least give them something after the game that, hey, they didn't pack it in and they didn't come back?
Right, and that is important, because there's a lot of teams you get down 15 or 20 and all of a sudden the game ends up being a 30, 35 point blowout, and that's not a good deal when your team basically just quits trying or feels like, hey, we're done, we can't compete. So I was very proud of the fact that we battled back and we cut it to 8. We had 2 possessions where Reggie drove it and wasn't able to convert against a big guy on their team near the basket. And I think the next time down, Faisal drove it on a little spin move and wasn't able to convert. Or else, at that point, it would have been a 6-point game with about 3 minutes to go, and we had really good momentum. But we fought back. We fought back and gave ourselves a chance. That's a sign of good character, I think.